Hey guys, my name is McIntyre with Elevarus, and today we're going to chunk down some of the exact strategies that we use within our own paid traffic channels, specifically on Facebook. So we're going to dive into a webinar that we were promoting on Facebook. We're actually going to show you some of the strategies that worked, how to set up Facebook ads, what makes a great Facebook ad, and some of the changes, some of the trends that we're seeing, particularly on the Meta platform from a paid traffic standpoint. So if you're running Facebook ads, if you're running Instagram ads, if you're doing anything in mortgage, solar, real estate, B2B, SaaS, any kind of paid traffic, particularly from a lead generation standpoint, you're going to want to watch this video. This also applies to e-commerce as well, but we're really going to kind of focus on today on lead generation strategies, specifically around the Facebook ad platform. So let's dive into it. So right now we're looking at one of our ad accounts, and I'm going to go out and zoom out basically to the maximum view here of when we started this campaign. We had a $5,000 lifetime budget on the campaign, and we've generated about 256 leads, of which we're at about $11.29 cost per lead. So a couple things I want to mention. You can either set up a lifetime budget or you can set up a daily budget in Facebook ads, and there's some pros and cons to both. Lifetime, if you've got a specific start and end date on your campaign, for example, we're building this campaign specifically for a webinar. This webinar had a start date of when we're going to promote the campaign and obviously an end date of when we're actually going to have the webinar. We're going to use a lifetime budget, set some constraints around when the start and end date of that budget, and Facebook's going to figure out how to best allocate that budget. Some days it may spend more, some days it may spend less, but it's never going to exceed that $4,000 lifetime budget. The other example of when you might want to use a lifetime budget is when you want to set ads to run on a specific schedule. Then you may want to set up a lifetime budget for that. You can't really do scheduled ads on Facebook on a daily budget. So if you want them to start and stop at specific times, then you're going to want to set up a lifetime budget. There are other ways around it with some automation, but but natively in the platform, if you want to set up schedules, at least currently as of this video, you need to use lifetime budgets for that. We typically don't recommend that for Facebook. Facebook likes to have all day to figure out how to optimize. You're better off capturing form fills, having your sales team call the next day. But Facebook in particularly likes, having 24 hours in a day to kind of optimize its ad spend. And then just inherently with Facebook and Instagram, a lot of people are on in the evenings and at different times. So a couple things just to be aware of there in terms of budget and how we have this structured. The second thing you'll notice here, we have two ad sets. We have a broad targeting ad set and an Advantage Plus. And Advantage Plus is basically a new type of targeting that Facebook is using, and is basically what they call an Advantage Plus audience. So we kind of load up all of these custom audiences, which you'll see here. We've got, traffic from our website. We've got HubSpot. We've got some customer lists that we brought in. We've got engagements. So we have a pretty significant set of first-party data that we fed into Facebook. But what Advantage Plus will do is it'll say, hey, we're going to show ads to these people, but we're going to let the AI also kind of expand out that audience. And you'll notice here that I don't really have anything else as far as targeting outside of making sure I'm targeting the United States. Obviously, I have a start and end date on the campaign. And an age group. Anyone under 30 typically isn't going to be our ideal client, although there's some exceptions to that rule. But most of the time, we're speaking to a little bit of an older demographic in terms of decision makers, business owners, vice presidents, presidents, and senior executives. So just a little bit about what works for our business there. And the other thing you'll see that we're testing. And I use the word testing because that's really what you're doing in marketing. nobody has the secret sauce. It doesn't exist. Every campaign is different. Even month to month things change, buyers change, a bunch of algorithms change. So you're always kind of testing your theories and seeing how well they work out against actual results. But we're also testing this broad targeting category, and it's exactly what it is. So we've got it pretty much wide open in the geographic region that we're targeting. We're targeting a specific age group, but what we're really doing here is letting the algorithm determine who is the best person to show this ad to based on the creative and based on the landing page. So kind of are going away, not necessarily gone, but the days of like having all of these complicated interest and targeting and all these things in Facebook, a lot of that's been taken away. A lot of that has to do with privacy data and, election interference. And there's a lot of things on why that has kind of gone away with Facebook. And then Facebook, to kind of adapt to those changes, has really invested in their AI and their algorithm to be able to target the right type of customer. And it's gotten really, really good over the last several months and the last couple years. And we kind of notice that as a trend. Broad targeting tends to work better, assuming you've got good creative and assuming you've got a great landing page. And that kind of segues next into creative. So this is really important. It used to be that you would have one ad or maybe two ads within an ad set, and you would kind of split test those ads and iterate from there. And there's definitely some value in that. But what we find now, just with algorithmic changes, the way the Facebook platform works, is putting a lot of different ads within the ad set and very different style ads. So you'll notice here we've got a ton of UGC style ads. That's user generated content, or ads that don't necessarily feel like ads. We have a ton of your traditional image style ads here. So we even have notepad style ads. But if you look at our best performing ad, it was this video right here that took us probably all of 10 minutes to make. And I'll play it here so you guys can see it. And I won't play the sound, but it's just, and you probably have seen these ads before. It's just a simple screenshot of my finger. I took it with a cell phone. It's me pointing at an ad, pointing at the landing page with the voiceover kind of describing what the offer is. And then I'll show you the landing page that we're bringing them to from this ad, because that's also very important. So if we bring you to the landing page here, we'll open up the ad and you can see the landing page. So we'll preview the URL here. And you'll notice a landing page, very simple, above the fold, clear call to action, clear form fill on what it is that we're doing. We've got the headline here. We have a sub headline of when we're have the webinar, a couple key points, another register now. Obviously, we've got some trust that we're building here, partners, and may not show 100% correctly because of how the screen recording is capturing the window. If we bring this a little bit smaller, you'll kind of see what this looks like on mobile as well. So, but that's basically the structure of how this campaign worked really, really well. It was UGC style ads, putting a lot of different types of ads and both copy and creative all within that ad set. And even within the ad itself, you'll notice, and I'm sure some of you guys have seen this and are running ads, Facebook has kind of taken the cue from Google with responsive ads. So everything's very much responsive here. Multiple primary text, multiple headlines, multiple descriptions, all nested in one ad, and then having multiple types of creative all within an ad set. And just to look at the performance, looking at the maximum view, you'll notice that broad targeting actually performed a little bit better than our specific targeting using Advantage Plus. So you'll notice our cost per lead was $10.20 on broad targeting. It was $12.58 on Advantage Plus. Probably not a statistical difference as far as statistical significance, but very close. And if we go to ads here, we look at the total results, you'll see this UGC style ad definitely performed the best for the short time that we were running this campaign. And a couple other things here you'll notice is that, we're still in learning mode. And a lot of this has to do with the fact that, we added a few ads, made a couple changes to the campaign leading up until the webinar. It's tomorrow as of recording this. So we wanted to add just a few more ads to kind of build a little bit more tension in the sense that we only have about 500 slots in the webinar. We've had 400 and something as of the time of this recording. We'll definitely hit 500 before we close it for registration tomorrow. But what my point is, anytime you make any changes, you'll see here that you re-enter the learning phase. And Facebook likes to see about 50 conversions a week. Now, that's not to say that you ever, or the ad accounts ever really stop learning, because they don't. Like, it's constantly taking the data that's coming back from the pixel, data that's coming back from conversions. It's constantly using that and optimizing based on that. But you also need to be able to have enough data to feed the algorithm. And if you're only getting 1 or 2 conversions a week, it's really hard for the algorithm to really optimize based on that. There's just not enough statistical significance. The other thing that's really important, you want to make sure that you've got your conversion tracking, you've got pixels set up on the ad account. In this case, we're not running to a lead form. We're actually running to a specific landing page. But we are testing. We have tested lead forms. They definitely have gotten a lot better on Facebook. Just make sure you ask some qualifying questions with the lead form, and also make sure you're not auto-populating email and phone number, and that'll kind of weed out some of the spam-related traffic. So, couple other things that's important. So, Facebook is going to do exactly what you tell it to do. So when you start a campaign, and this is really important, if we see a lot of people start with like traffic to kind of help train the pixel and then move down the funnel down to conversions or down to leads or sales campaigns. And maybe in the old days that was relevant. It isn't really relevant anymore. So Facebook's really good at going after the right type of client. These days, we recommend if leads is your goal or if sales is your goal, start with the lowest funnel objective first. Start building some conversion data. There is a time that you do want to run awareness campaigns, particularly any kind of video campaigns. You want to have some of your budget, go a little bit, higher up in the funnel towards awareness or consideration, or some of the other funnel objectives. Doesn't all have to be conversions or lead campaigns, but it's usually if you're just starting a campaign, looking to grow your campaign, usually conversion and leads is a good place, or sales and leads is a good place to start. Then layer in a portion of your budget, some of your budget, to awareness campaigns, particularly video campaigns that might build some brand recognition around your product. But we typically recommend to start with lead or sales. The other thing that we do here, that particularly in the lead generation ecosystem with Facebook, we will disable audience network. And we've tested this a bunch of different times on multiple accounts. What audience network is, it's basically display ads. So these are ads outside of the normal native Facebook or Instagram platform. But what we find is there's just a lot of fraudulent, spammy traffic. We can even prove it where leads are coming through, but they're basically AI-generated traffic. Like it's bots, non-humans going to a website. the bot or the AI is filling out the form fill based on a database or making emails and phone numbers look like they're real emails and phone numbers. And they do that to trick the algorithm to show more ads on their website, so that person that owns that particular website or that network of sites or that app can get more ad revenue. For ecom, this works a little bit different. You can kind of optimize that out quite a bit because your checkpoint in the conversion path is a purchase, right? If someone entering your credit card information, you can also optimize that out a little bit in the funnel if you have a lot of questions. Obviously, if you have CAPTCHA and some other things that kind of filter a lot of that stuff out. But for 85-90% of the campaigns, we will just disable this because every time that we do, we end up with just a lot of bunk leads, for lack of a better word. Right? And what else can we show you guys that might be relevant? Just don't make a ton of changes on your accounts. I think that's a big mistake we see with a lot of people. They're constantly trying to make changes every single day. Give the algorithm time to learn. Don't have these over complicated campaign structures, especially if you're working with a relatively small budget. 4,000, depending on who you are, might seem like a large budget, but in the grand scheme of things, it is a relatively small budget. You don't want to have 13 different ad sets and 4 different campaigns and diluting that budget across multiple ad sets and campaigns. Try to keep things simple. The algorithm on Facebook likes it. Have multiple variations, both of copy, have multiple variations of creative, and just have a great landing page. And I think those are really the key elements that we see on Facebook that's working today. So if you find this video useful, if you're watching me on a webinar, if you're watching me on YouTube, please be sure to follow us. At any point, if you want to schedule up a free consultation with myself or our team, this is what we do. We live, breathe, eat, and sleep paid traffic, specifically in lead generation. Go to Elevarus, ELEVARUS.com. You can follow me, Shane McIntyre, on all the socials, and scale those ad accounts. Keep pushing, and let's grow.